Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here. I actually have something that we're going to be talking about that I think will help every single one of you enhance your roleplay experience. How to play as a morally ambiguous or evil character. Hi, I need some advice on how to play a character who is morally questionable and evil. I have a hard time creating evil characters because of my good nature as a person, a buff, and a nerf. Yeah, I agree with that one, I'm with you. Whenever I attempt an evil or unethical action, I somehow can't go along with it, and have my character back out and do the morally responsible thing. Proud of you. So, to help give context for my new character, he is a half-elf Drake Warden Ranger who exiled himself from his family. His father, who's biologically his uncle, taught him the skills on how to be his tool and pervert his son out of revenge, since his mother had an affair with his brother, father of my character. He has 3 siblings. The eldest is a prick. The middle child is the spoiled rotten brat of the family, as per usual, and his youngest siblings is his sister, who he deeply cares for. The spoiled brat was cruel to him, and as a prank in his teen years, branded him with a demonic symbol on his arm. To get revenge, my character paralyzed his sibling by shooting an arrow through the sibling's spine and crippling him without anyone suspecting. So, as a young adult, he exiled himself from his family in order to start a new noble house where he feels in control and possibly spread his influence. Maybe creating a small kingdom or something. Rarely are evil people wholly evil. It is far easier to be evil in one way and good in one way, one sin, one virtue. He is a Drake Warden, so think like a drake. Make him greedy or envious as he covets something. He could just as easily hoard badges and trinkets, having a whole Girl Scout sash of tribes, patches he has slaughtered. Or chainmail turned into scale mail from all the dog tags. Evil is very subjective and comes in more flavors than Ben & Jerry's. Most important thing you gotta remember is that if you're going to play evil, still play a character the party can like and adventure with. Sorry, too many players I've met use being evil as an excuse to be a dick to the party and ruin the fun for everyone. You've stated you're not comfortable normally playing evil, so I'd say maybe retool your Drake Warden some. Instead, raised to be purposely twisted out of revenge, he's been raised to be ruthlessly efficient, or is just by nature greedy. He steals from his siblings, and around town he cheats at games and exploits people for coin or items. Drake Warden is dragon connected, so lean into that based in the type of dragon reflected. Here's an example. The party finds a village whose missing children returned after 5 years with no memory of vanishing and haven't aged a day. In the course of investigating it, they discovered the kids were kidnapped and cursed by hags, and by the harvest moon, the curse will turn the children into hags. The most efficient course of action here would be for your warden to kill them to prevent this, as this is the known way hags reproduce. Now, you don't have to do a lot of evil. Here's my breakdown to playing evil by actions and choices 98% law-abiding. Not because it's good, but because it's easy. Just pay for the goods, pay the innkeeper that 5 silver, shrug off the rude merchant. 1.5% petty evil. Spent 5 silver at the inn, pickpocket 10 silver walking through the market. Ask to help that NPC. Have an actual firm price list for services and demand half payment up front. Walk away if they won't pay. 0.5% evil. Is the party in a bind and it's gonna take something horrible and bad to get out? Ask them. I can get us out, but you're not going to want to know how I'll do it. Do I have your guys' permissions for this? Slaughter that village and burn the inn because mimics were taking over. Kill that dog because it had a minor curse on it. Don't kill the dog. Leave that NPC to die, or use them as bait because that's what's needed to get the monster out. So what if they die in the process? Who cares? Frame that really nice, lawful, good priest for a horrible crime so the party can get the magic item that they need to finish a quest. This should happen rarely, and the DM should always have a few scenarios for it. Now, above all else, remember lines and veils, and be a team player anyway. Hopefully, this all helps. I play evil as someone who is willing to do anything to accomplish their goal. You need information? Torture a person to death. Sure, it's messy and violent, but they had the information to save the kingdom. What's just one life compared to thousands or millions? The magical MacGuffin is in the church vault and you need it to save your wife and children. Well, now you murdered a bunch of nuns. It was their fault for not giving it to you. Same with how Anakin became Vader. His goal was to become powerful enough to prevent Padme's death. The only way to accomplish that was to do Palpatine's will. So, goodbye Jedi Order, but what are we going to do, Anakin? So, get an idea of what your villain's goal is and let nothing stand in your way, even if it's a young child. Chaotic evil is probably the hardest, but most chaotic evil characters are driven by their desire to prove a point. Take the Joker, for example. Civilization is a joke. Just one bad day is all it takes to bring it down. So, he sets out to prove it. Or a killer who thrives in the feeling of power over someone else. They can take the victim's life, and nothing can stop them. Evil is not really about going out of your way to do evil actions. It's about what you're prepared to do. For example, you may be prepared to torture captives or have criminal connections. Now, if you want to play an evil character without disrupting the party, think about villains who keep shooting themselves in the foot by being too evil and then don't make those mistakes. The Sith in Star Wars are a great example here, always lying and betraying, murdering people for no reason, needless cruelty, always needing to feed their egos. Those are good ways to not get invited back to the next session. If the party is beneficial for your character, they should try and stay on the party's good side, or at least be too useful to get rid of. Before breaking the law on a whim, actually think through the likely consequences and whether it's worth the risk. My evil fighter frequently tried to avoid combat when possible and persuade enemies instead of killing them. Oh, he wasn't against killing for moral reasons, he just knew it was better to make allies than destroy enemies and tried to make the most reasonable choice. He overpaid NPCs to keep them happy with the party. They were polite and professional because that was a lot easier than dealing with pissed off employers. He never slacked off or acted selfishly in combat because he needed to remain useful to the party, so they would overlook more questionable things that he did. Basically, just make rational decisions for long-term success. They usually involve doing good things, and you'll fit in with the party even though you're only doing it for yourself. It also has the added benefit of making your evil moments stand out much more. If you're always looking for chances to kill random NPCs, the shock wears off pretty quickly. But I can probably remember every single murder or attempted murder I committed in that whole 3-year campaign. It meant that when I did something evil, it always caught the party by surprise. Now, context. My character is a cyberpunk red character. He is not evil. If anything, he is true neutral. He looks out for himself and the immediate group around him, and willing to do so with unsavory means. He is skilled in martial arts, and his weapon of choice is knives. This is the big part. He uses knives most of the time. At this point, he is seen as the morally questionable character. Out of character, the group has confided in me that they see him as some unhinged mountain madman who takes pleasure in stabbing people, but he doesn't, though. Recently, we ambushed a truck with supplies. My character ran to the side of the vehicle, ripped the door clean off, and disemboweled the poor f***er sitting on the passenger side. So good! First mission of our campaign. Me and a friend are able to rappel to the top of a building. I sneak up on someone who was snoozing while standing and slit his throat in the night. The friend that came with begins to attack another on the roof, but missed an attack on a third person. My character comes around an AC unit and throws one of his knives and nails the last bastard in his fleshy eye straight to the brain. My character, out of character and out of the entire gang, because they are a gang, was agreeing to be the executioner of the group. Oh, you need to intimidate someone? Send the unhinged man with a knife for a few minutes. He'll sort it out. Need to dissuade some other gangers from attacking us? Don't worry. Captain Blackbird's character will do something unhinged. Looking to me expectantly, like, come on, please do it. Come on, you can do it. Come on. My character is also a net runner. and has begun to make his own programs, all of which are named after North American mythological creatures like the Wendigo, Jersey Devil, Skinwalker, Scalpers, Legion, and Sirens. All of them take different parts of mythology like sirens leading people into a trap and use it in the net against other net runners. All of them are anti-net runner. Essentially, my character is seen by my group as the crazy Appalachian man who loves to stab people and would go to extreme lengths to do so, which to many may be considered evil. So I seem evil without actually being evil. He has something that he wants. He desires to get it, but getting it doesn't necessarily require doing harm to anyone else. Defeating the campaign's actual big bad evil guy, for example, might be enough to give him the clout to do what he wants. For example, so he has a reason to work with the party and act within the law without crossing too many moral lines that would be disruptive at the table. He might do selfish things, but seems like at the end of the day, he'd be more focused on prestige and reputation than anything else. If you want him to be evil aligned, go for a villain with good publicity vibe, where his end goals make acting on the good side in his best interests, even if his motivations are ultimately self-centered. He might do evil things, of course, but he'd likely go out of his way to avoid those evil things becoming widely known, and try to cover them up or only do them privately. He might even see the rest of the party as useful assets and go out of his way to help them in order to maintain their loyalty. Or possibly have an even evil has loved ones type shtick. Point being, there's reasons an evil-aligned character might act in a way generally considered good, even if their motivations are entirely selfish. I've never played an evil character, but there's a character from a movie I've seen who serves as a decent or terrible role model. He's an assassin known simply as the Operative, and believes killing his target is the right thing to do. He often speaks of a better world. So, me and mine gotta lay down and die so you can live in your better world? Oh, I'm not going to live there. There's no place for me there, any more than there is for you. Mal, I'm a monster. What I do is evil. I have no illusions about it, but it must be done. I have an idea for a chaotic evil cleric that others may use. So, this character is meant to focus nearly 100% on healing, buffs, and debuffs. What you will be playing is the kindest character that you can while also healing as many people as you can while spreading the word of your deity. Here's the catch. Make sure that you max out deception and charisma, because their deity is a deity of chaotic evil trickery. You are tricking all these people into worshiping this deity unknowingly. Here's some extra fun if you don't tell the other players and get them worshiping as well. Oh, you're a dick. Obviously, let your GM know what's going on. Work with them to come up with a fake minor deity so that no one would be the wiser. Also, multi-classing into Bard or Rogue would help. Bard would probably be the better option in my opinion, but do what you want. So go out, do good, and trick the unsuspecting population into worshiping an evil deity. Be that ultimate Jehovah's Witness. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, back at it again, checking in after the vid. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course, tell somebody out there right now how to play a morally ambiguous or evil character in the comments below. And remember, evil and good are not black and white. There's always going to be a little bit of moral ambiguity there, so keep it all on the gray scale. Love you all, please be safe, happy, and healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.